Welcome to a series in which I'll find out who the richest protagonist is in the Grand Theft Auto universe. This is a deep analysis of each person's income. The things I'll look at, of course, is the time period. Each game is set in a certain year where housing, everyday spendings, rent and much more cost a certain amount, and I will adjust it for inflation for 2023. I'll look at earnings from main and side missions these people complete, and also activities required for 100% completion. Why only these? Well, since many protagonists get random income from, let's say, doing jumps in a bike or a car, wasting NPCs, playing pool and so on, getting an accurate count for Reese is impossible, so just look at 100% requirement. The statistics are entirely made by me, so if I make a mistake, feel free to scream at me in the comments. Making these videos is a massive time sink, so I would appreciate a like, so I can see if there's an interest in a continuation of the series. In this first episode, I'll cover Claude, the protagonist in GTA 3. GTA 3 is set in 2001 and he starts the game with no money whatsoever since he just escaped from prison, meaning that all the money and assets he had before are now gone. This includes whatever he had in San Andreas. Throughout the game he is given 51 main story missions, paying out from $0 to $1 million. Most missions have a set reward, but others pay out a varying amount of money. These missions are the first ball, in which he's paid a flat $2,000, but if he gets all the girls, this is doubled. It's safe to assume that Claude is a capable man, so let's say he got $4,000 for this mission. In SmackDown he's paid $10k, but also gets $1k additional dollars for each extra kill. Since you cannot waste each dealer who spawns, I only added $10,000 to the total. In Marked Man he's given $20k for completion and an additional $20k from the garage, so I'll add $40k from this mission. Also, and this is where things get interesting, in Marked Man Claude gets a free bulletproof Patriot, which is based on the Hummer. In 2001 the Hummer costed from $49,000 to $132,000 with an average of almost $90k. Making a car bulletproof could cost up to $100,000. This includes windows, doors and tires. Since tires are bulletproof anyway in GTA 3, we don't need to account for those. If this Patriot costed a minimum of $49,000 and was bulletproof, it's safe to assume that it would cost $132,000, which is the max these vehicles went for in 2001. Which brings our mission total to $2,130,500. To start the mission, bomb the base Act 2 and the exchange, however, Claude needs to pay out $100,000 and $500,000 respectively out of pocket, so from the total let's subtract $600,000, leaving him with an income of $1,530,500 just from doing main story missions. On to housing. Claude uses 3 safe houses in the game, one for each city. The Portland one is given to you by 8-Ball, so it's safe to assume that he paid for it. Since he never died later on, and he also respects Claude, it's safe to assume that they have an agreement where Claude uses the apartment rent-free forever. It's different for Stoughton and Shoreside, however. In Stoughton, Claude was given the apartment by Asuka, who dies later on. Since the owner died, Claude needs to buy it, otherwise he would lose it. The one in Shoreside Vale he rents or buys himself. For the sake of my sanity, let's assume that he buys both the Stoughton and the Shoreside apartments and 8-Ball buys the Portland one. Back in 2001 in New York, where the game is based on, the price for a standard apartment is $1,200 per square foot. This is abnormal, but you gotta consider a certain September event which rose the prices significantly. Since the average size of an apartment is about 900 square feet, $1,200 per square foot, Claude paid $1,080,000 for one apartment, plus that much more for the second one. This gets him in the negative, but we have not discussed side missions yet, so let's move on. Claude completes 17 Payphone missions, which pay out from $1,000 to $30,000. Just like the main missions, some Payphone missions give varying amounts. They are: Trial by Fire gives him a flat 10k reward, but if he kills the triads in the basketball court, he gets an extra 6k. Let's assume he did kill him, so he gets 16k from this mission. For completing Big and Veiny, he gets a flat 20k, however if he collects all the magazines, he gets an additional 10k. Let's say he got the full 30k from this mission. After completing the thieves, Claude gets 2k, however since he has to use pay and spray, he loses 1k, making his reward $1000. In The Wife, Claude allegedly gets paid 2k as is displayed. However, for some reason he gets an extra 1k, making his reward $3000. In Bling Bling Scramble, Claude gets 1k per checkpoint. He's a competent driver, so let's assume he collected all 15, giving him $15,000. With those outliers, the rest of the Payphone missions have a set amount, and what he got from all of them is $191,000, making his total minus $438,500. Alright, now for the vehicle missions. Taxi driver is a difficult one to calculate since Claude gets different amounts depending on how far the destinations are and how fast he reaches them. For 100% completion, Claude needs to deliver 100 passengers. If he does it in a row, he gets more. I did it twice in a row on both the original and the definitive editions for maximum profit and got these two numbers. This is assuming he did not use pay and spray during his runs. The average is $443,818, so let's add that to the total. Also, no, I'm not including the Borg 9 to his total the same way I included the Bulletproof Patriot, since he doesn't actually own the Borg 9 because he gets a warranted level when entering it. So despite this being a reward, it's not his, so I'll not be adding it. Paramedic requires 12 levels for 100% and Claude gets $65k. Claude needs to waste 20 criminals on each island for Vigilante, and if he gets 20 in a row, he would get $105,000 or $315,000 total for all 3 islands. Lastly, Firefighter works the same as Vigilante, but the payout is less, so for all 3 islands Claude will get an extra $52,500, finally making Claude's earnings after the vehicle missions positive. Claude needs to do 4 off-road missions, namely Patriot Playground, A Ride in the Park, Multi-Story Mayhem and Gripped, earning him an extra $120,000. The 4 RC Toys missions are very difficult to calculate because Claude gets rewarded $1k per kill and he gets 2 minutes per mission. I would say it's reasonable to assume that he can explode a car every 10 seconds, so in 2 minutes he can explode 20 vehicles, which means he could get 20k per mission or $80,000 for all 4. There are 2 import-export garages requiring 16 vehicles each. Per delivery, Claude gets $1,000 and per completion of a garage, he gets $200. So 32 vehicles per 1k plus 400k would give him $432,000. The emergency vehicle crane is slightly different. Firstly, we have 7 vehicles. This time Claude gets $1,500 per delivery except the final vehicle, which gives nothing. Instead, Claude gets a completion reward of $200,000. This means we can add $209,000 to his total. Claude gets 1k per collected hidden package plus a bonus reward of 1 million for collecting all 100. Let's add 1,100,000 to his total. Each completed rampage offers an increasing reward of $5,000, meaning that for each completed one, Claude gets an increase of 5,000 to his reward, giving him $1,050,000 plus $1 million as a bonus, which actually almost doubles his income. Stun jumps are the exact same, 20 jumps, 2,050,000 added to Claude's total. This brings Claude's total income to $6,478,818. Let's assume that Claude retires at this point. He does not partake in any more races, does not deliver passengers, does not kill NPCs for money, and so on. If he retires right now in 2001, he'll be left with 3 properties and this much money. We can safely assume that Claude did not spend a cent from 2001 to 2023, since he does not need to eat or drink and all his weapons can be gotten for free. In 2023, after inflation, his earnings would amount to $11,125,824.29. This plus 3 crappy apartments is what Claude would have in current year. Again, this is assuming he completely retired and did not spend a cent of it in 22 years. Stay tuned because we have many more protagonists to cover. This is the most math heavy video I have ever done on my channel, and I apologize if there was a mistake. If you guys find one, I'll correct it in the Vice City video, which is next. Leave a like if you want me to continue the series, thank you for watching, and a very special thank you to Ola Velikanin, Case Knights, Monish Parib, The Steve Game Studios, Epic LF, Shinte, Bad Boy Hero, Sassy, Extreme Stuff, Jacob Madley, Max Robinson, Unknown Stranger, Versatilio, Jim Francescos, and everybody else.